Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Are you ready for a dose of reality? A reality where your retirement savings could vanish in the blink of an eye. I'm talking about the exploding world of scams targeting older adults and veterans, and folks, it's getting bad. We're going to break down the latest warnings from the AARP Fraud Watch Network, uncover the sneaky tactics these criminals are using, and most importantly, give you the tools to protect yourself. This isn't just about money, it's about your peace of mind. So buckle up, because this is one episode you can't afford to miss. Alright, let's dive right in. The AARP Fraud Watch Network is sounding the alarm on a terrifying trend. Romance scams are now supercharged with cryptocurrency. Picture this. You meet someone online, sparks fly, and you start building a connection. Then, bam, they start talking about this amazing crypto investment opportunity. They promise you huge returns, a guaranteed path to financial freedom. But guess what? It's a total lie. These scammers are experts at manipulating emotions, building trust, and then stealing your hard-earned money. Think about it. You are emotionally vulnerable, and they are preying on that. It's disgusting, and it's happening more and more often. This is not just about losing money. It's about losing trust in humanity. I know, heavy stuff, but we need to be aware. Next up, we've got gift card scams, and these are just as insidious. These scammers are masters of disguise. They might impersonate a government official, a family member in distress, or even a representative from a company you trust. They pressure you to buy gift cards, often for large amounts, and then demand the codes. Once they have those codes, the money is gone. Poof. It's untraceable and almost impossible to recover. What makes this so scary is that it often feels like a legitimate request. They're using social engineering, playing on your fears and your desire to help. They might say your grandchild is in jail and needs bail money, or that you owe back taxes and have to pay immediately. Don't fall for it. Always verify the request through official channels. Call the police station, call the IRS, call your family, and call them directly. Don't trust unsolicited requests for gift cards, no matter how urgent they seem. Now for some good news. The AARP is not just sitting back and watching this happen. They're actively fighting back with resources like their Fraud Watch Network and educational programs. And coming in 2025, they're launching a special webinar called Fighting Fraud with AARP Connecticut. This is huge. It's a targeted effort to equip residents of Connecticut with the knowledge and tools they need to spot and avoid these scams. Think of it as your personal fraud-fighting bootcamp. They'll be covering everything from identifying red flags to reporting suspicious activity. We'll be sure to share the details as soon as they're available, so you can sign up and get informed. AARP is taking the fight to the scammers, and we're here to support them all the way. Let's talk about impact. What are the real-world consequences of these scams? Well, the direct domain impact is absolutely devastating. We're talking about increased financial losses, sometimes wiping out entire life savings. But it's not just about the money. Victims experience intense emotional distress, feelings of shame, anger, vulnerability, and a profound loss of trust. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and social isolation, especially for older adults who may already be feeling lonely. And the ripple effects extend beyond the individual. Family members and caregivers often bear a significant burden, both financially and emotionally. They may need to provide financial assistance, manage legal issues, and offer emotional support. This is a tragedy that can be averted with awareness and vigilance. The impact doesn't stop there. It bleeds into adjacent industries as well. Financial institutions like banks and credit unions are on the front lines, dealing with fraudulent transactions and reimbursing victims. They're forced to invest in increasingly sophisticated fraud prevention measures, which ultimately drives up costs for everyone. Tech companies, especially social media platforms, are also under immense pressure to combat fraud on their platforms. They need to invest in more robust security measures and content moderation, but it's a constant cat-and-mouse game with the scammers. And even the cybersecurity industry benefits from the increase in fraud, as businesses and individuals seek solutions to protect themselves from cyber threats. It's a vicious cycle, and we need to break it. Finally, let's look at the broader socioeconomic impact. Widespread fraud erodes trust in institutions, businesses, and even personal relationships. This can lead to social fragmentation and a decline in civic engagement. It also exacerbates existing inequalities, disproportionately affecting vulnerable populations like older adults and veterans. The financial losses and emotional distress caused by fraud can push already vulnerable individuals further into poverty. Fear of fraud can deter consumers from engaging in online transactions and other economic activities, leading to reduced spending and slower economic growth. The resources diverted to combating fraud could be used for other public goods and services, like education and healthcare. In extreme cases, widespread fraud and corruption can even undermine public confidence in government and contribute to political instability. It's a serious threat to our society. So, what are the specific risks we need to be aware of? Let's start with the technical risks. Data breaches are becoming increasingly frequent, exposing our personal information to scammers. Stolen data can be used for identity theft, financial fraud, and a whole host of malicious activities. Always put security freezes on your credit accounts, use strong passwords, and monitor your financial accounts regularly. Hacked social media accounts are another major problem. Scammers are using compromised accounts to spread fake offers and trick victims into falling for scams. Be skeptical of unbelievable offers, even if they're coming from friends or family. Verify deals through official channels before you hand over any money. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The risks extend beyond the technical realm. Businesses can suffer reputational damage if their names are used in scams. Loss of trust can be devastating, so companies need to be proactive in monitoring for scams and educating their customers. There are also serious ethical risks involved. Scammers are specifically targeting vulnerable populations like older adults and veterans, exploiting their trust and their financial resources. They use deceptive tactics and misleading information to trick victims into handing over their money. This is morally reprehensible, and we need to hold these criminals accountable. We also need to promote transparency in business practices and provide consumers with clear and accurate information about products and services. An ethical consumer is a protected consumer. All right, so what can you do to protect yourself? First and foremost, be skeptical. Don't trust unsolicited requests for money or personal information. Verify everything through official channels. Use strong passwords and enable two-factor authentication on all your accounts. Monitor your credit reports regularly for any suspicious activity. Educate yourself about the latest scam tactics. The AARP Fraud Watch Network is a fantastic resource. Talk to your friends and family about scams. The more people who are aware, the harder it will be for these criminals to succeed. And finally, report any suspected fraud to the authorities. The FTC and your local law enforcement agencies are there to help. Don't be afraid to speak up and take action. You're not alone in this fight. The fight against fraud is a constant battle, but it's a battle we can win. By staying vigilant, informed, and proactive, we can protect ourselves and our loved ones from these devastating scams. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about the tactics these criminals are using, the better equipped you'll be to spot them and avoid them. So, stay tuned to this channel for more updates and tips on how to stay safe online. And be sure to check out the AARP Fraud Watch Network for even more resources. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there.